Hello, Watem here. Welcome back to small Umineko When Seagulls Cry. Before we get to the actual tea party, I just wanted to show you that last little section at the end, because I went back through, added some saves for thumbnails. Yeah, apparently that last section was called "For Witch's Illusion," so that's nice to know. Yeah. And one last thing before we actually start the tea party, also no new text. Yeah, one last thing. I want to talk a bit about the red text we've had for the past couple of episodes. Now, it's certainly interesting because we're relying on the witch to provide the red text. Um, However, we're then trying to deny the existence of witch, which causes some issues, but you can resolve that by saying, well, maybe someone else, maybe you don't need to be a witch to have the red text. Maybe that's just something else. Another interesting thing. Uh, the red text itself almost certainly, or most likely needs to be something which the party involved already knows the truth for. It's not something that ascertains the truth. One kind of important part with that, one of my main reasonings for that is that there is no algorithm for the truth. You might say, well, maybe we just haven't found one. Well, no, so we using, basically gonna take a specific subset and disprove that to disprove the whole thing. Because if there is an algorithm for the truth, that means that it would be able to solve a given problem. It would be able to solve the truth about a given statement. And so we're going to look at one specific set of statements, and that is looking at a specific study of algorithms. So if you've got an algorithm, like a computer program, for example, but you can have other algorithms. Algorithms just basically your recipe for performing some task. It could be sorting books, for example. You could have different algorithms there. But basically, the question is, does the given algorithm stop, or does it keep going forever? So if you think about a computer program, for example, if you put 2 plus 3, does it give you the answer 5, or does it keep just saying hello, 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 hello forever and ever and ever without ever stopping? That's the basic question. Suppose then, so if the algorithm for truth exists, then it would have to be able to say, given the program, does this program stop or not? Let's call this sub-problem halts, like HALTS. Does the program halt, or does it keep going? Now, suppose then we have another algorithm. We take... this isn't a rigorous proof for the why the halting problem doesn't have a solution, but this is generally how it goes. Say we've got some other algorithm, and let's call it G. And we take our halts program, which we can put an algorithm in, and if the answer of that's, if halts would say, yes, the program you gave me does stop, then what G does is it just forever keeps saying hello. It's hello, 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 forever and ever and ever. If the halting program says, well, no, this program just keeps going forever, then the G will just say, okay, 0, and stops. Now, what happens when you put that algorithm you put into halts is G? So you have your G. If G stops, then G will continue forever. But if G continues forever, then G will stop. We've got a contradiction there. It's not something that's possible. It's not that it would flip between the two. It cannot be in both states at once. So we've got a contradiction. Our only assumption that led to this contradiction was the existence of a algorithm that could determine if another algorithm stops or not. Therefore, that algorithm cannot exist. Therefore, there is no algorithm for the truth. Yeah, there's quite a few similar concepts. There's like some which take place on like natural numbers, for example. There's a limit to what you can tell. I think there's one where basically there will be true statements in the world that are impossible to determine. A lot of these, I think, I'm not sure about that one in particular, but I know a lot of those general kind of statements, basically, they just start off with trying to turn it into the halting problem, and then because we already know that that's impossible, we can then prove this other statement. I don't think we've ever had some kind of subset situation in Umineko so far. We might have. I just can't remember it. But yeah, in any case, there is no algorithm for truth. Therefore, red text cannot ascertain the truth. In all situations, at least. There are limitations to red text. Most probable limitation is that the person speaking it already knows the truth. Yeah, without any further ado, let us actually get into the tea party. Been here for quite a long time. Okay. The halting problem is a bit complicated to explain. Oh. I thought I ordered a tea party, not a witch's tea party. What are we doing here?
まさか最後の最後でベルンカステル教の駒が乱入してくるとは。
Took you long enough.
あんたとのゲームにふさわしい駒をずいぶんあちこち探し回ったの。きっと気に入ってもらえると思うわ。
何よあの駒誰よあいつ何者よ。
I'm gonna guess Battler's sibling?
名乗らないなんてずるいわよ。ねえ、あんたもそう思うでしょ。
わらわはだいたい察しはついておるがというか普通わかるであろう。
普通わかんないわよ。初登場のキャラでしょ。名乗らなかったら私もプレイヤーもみんなわかんないわよね。
Wasn't there a new name in the credits from memory?
ベアト、教えてあげなくていいわよ。
Oh, I love Ben Castell.
ね、面白い子でしょ。
ラムダデルタ教の天真爛漫にして天然なところは実に貴重で面白いものである。
何よ何よ、なんで私にだけ教えてくれないのよ。意地悪。じゃあ私だけが気づいたとっておきの秘密を特別に教えてあげるわ。だから教えなさいよ。
ほう、とっておきの秘密とな。聞きたいぞ聞きたいぞ。
Is it like Ben Castell's favorite brand of alcohol?
教えてほしかったら先に私の知った秘密はすごいわよ。何しろサンタさんの正体が実はお父さんだったってくらいすごいんだから。あら言っちゃった。ごめんなさいね。天地がひっくり返るくらいびっくりしちゃったでしょ。
ラムダのとこにはお父さんが来てたの？
来てたのってどういう意味よ。
サンタクロース教は心の綺麗な子供のところへしか訪れないのよ。
Oh, Ben Castell was ruthless.
あんたのとこには来なかったのね。
まあサンタクロース教は寛大であるからな。よっぽどの大悪党でもない限りプレゼントを恵んでくださるぞ。何しろわらわにもくれたくらいだからな。
成長して心がすさんでくると来なくなるのよね。ベアトのとこには いくつくらいまで来てたの？
12歳くらいまでは来ておったぞ。乙女心に目覚めると急にサンタ教が来るのがなんだか恥ずかしくなってな。これまでありがとうございました。もう結構です。だから最後のプレゼントは奮発してくださいと手紙を置いたら来なくなった。ちょっぴり期待したのだがな。ベルンカステル教はいつくらいまで来ていたのか。
私すさんでたし。結構早かったっけ？確か9歳頃ね。なんかあのヒゲが無性にムカついてちょん切ってやろうと布団の中で裁縫ばさみ構えて待ってたの。痛いお年頃よね。
でラムダデルタ教には物心ついてからサンタクロース教がおいでになったことがないと。
So, I feel like Ben Costello is totally trolling Lambda Delta here. I'm not sure about Beatrice, if she's just playing along or if just being oblivious.
普通は小学校高学年から中学校くらいまでの間までは来るものであるぞ。
ある意味お医者で見てもらった方がいいわよ。早熟すぎると心身の成長に悪影響があるらしいから。ああ、確かに出てるわね。悪影響。
何の話をしてるのよ、あんたたちは。
魔女も3人集まれば実にかしましい。
この程度のレベルの秘密じゃ聞く価値もなさそうね。私もう行ってもいい？次のゲームの準備をしなくちゃならないから。
ちょっと待ちなさいよ。あの女の正体を教えなさいよ。
じゃああなたのとっておきの秘密を先に教えなさいよ。
And if it's worth me not
似合うものだったら教えてあげるわ。
いいわよ、教えてあげるわ。とっておきの秘密なんだから。
And you can see like the sparkle in Lambda Delta's eyes, and then Ben Costello's eyes are just blank.
ほら、今回のゲームで黄金を見つけて新しい魔女になった子がいたでしょ。
Yep, ever.
あやつに一体どんな秘密があるというのか。
Which was me.
あの子の正体にね、
あ、
私気づいちゃったの。みんなにはわかるかしら。ヒントはね、喋り方にあったのよ。ほら、あの子よく口にしてたでしょ。なんとかしちゃえばって。そう、この語尾がポイントだったのよ。エヴァそう、
ever?
あいつの正体は後宮エヴァだったのよ。
You can't see, but I am just face palming. Oh.
驚いちゃったかしら。
Yes, but in a different way than you think.
ほう、それは気づかなかった。そのようなところにヒントがあったとはな。
ベアトって付き合いがいいのね。その子増長するからほどほどになさいよ。じゃあね、私は席を外すわ。
You got sparkle there, you got the sparkle there, no sparkle.
ちょっと私の秘密だけ聞いてあんたは喋んないなんてずるいわよ。あんたもあの女の正体を話しなさいよ。
あんたの秘密がすごすぎて釣り合わないわ。じゃあ代わりに私もとっておきの秘密を教えてあげるわ。日暮らしの泣く頃にってゲームの犯人の名前を教えてあげる。
私今プレイしてるとこなの。
じゃあね、ベアト。紅茶美味しかったわ。あと、お茶菓子のクラッカーだけど、ジャムのレパートリーが足りないわ。たまにはコチュジャンでも用意しなさい。ロシアンティーにもぴったりだし。じゃあね。
そうか、わかったぞ。試してみよう。次のゲームの準備が整ったら呼ぼうぞ。それまでゆっくり戦略でも練るがよい。
ええ、そうするわ。今回のゲームはなかなか面白かったわよ。じゃあね。
ちょっと待ちなさいよ。教えなさいよ。
Just for looks, leaves.
いやいや、本当にお二人は仲が良い。
ええ、そうよ。はあ、大好きよ、ベルンカステル。愛してるとさえ言ってもいいわ。あの瞳をえぐり出して私以外を映さないようにしてやりたい。ああ、それは本当に素敵よね。紅茶に沈めても素敵かもしれない。
ラムダデルタ教をここまで夢中にさせるとは。わらわも責任重大であるな。しかし今回は実に惜しかった。あと一息でバトラーをコロリといけたものを。
And you threw it away at the last moment.
ベアと一個聞いていい？
なんであるか？
Are you actually trying to win?
あの女の名前は教えぬぞ。
いつまでチャラけてんのよ。あんた勝つ気あんの？
I called it. Lambda Delta threatened her with a low voice which she'd never used in front of Vern Castell. It completely blew away the calm atmosphere that had been there until a moment ago.
私はね、ベルンカステルに勝てる魔女ってことであんたに肩入れしてんのよ。
That face.
あんたにベルンカステルに勝てる力がないってんなら、いつだって私はあんたなんか見捨てるんだからね。
これは手厳しい。わらわの何がご不満なのか。今日もご存知の通り、わらわのゲーム版は完璧だ。
Is it? Is it really?
ベルンカステル教には決して勝てはせん。
そうよ。
If it isn't for a miracle?
あんたのゲーム版は実に見事よ。ベルンカステルが100年はおろか1000年を費やそうとも絶対に勝つことのできない実に見事な完璧なゲーム版よ。だから私はそれを借りることの引き換えにあんたを魔女にしてやったのよ。私があんたの後見人をやめればあんたはすぐに人間に逆戻り。
Interesting.
どんなにすごい魔力を持っていてもあんたはかりそめの魔女でしかないことを決して忘れないことよ。
分かっておるわ。
Okay then.
そなたには感謝しておる。
タメ口聞かないでよ。ベルンカステルがいるときは許すけどいないときは許さないわ。あんた最近私の恩を忘れてるでしょ。
This isn't what I was expecting at all.
そんなことはあり。
はあ、やっぱ気持ち悪いわ。いつもの喋り方でいい。でも口の利き方には注意してよ。私案外短気よ。話を戻すわ。あんたのゲーム版は実に完璧。
So why haven't you won?
ベルンカステルを容易に任すことができるでしょうよ。しかしあの子は簡単に屈服しない。 何度でも挑んでくるわ。
問題はない。ラムダデルタ教のお墨付きではないか。わらわのゲーム版は完璧だ。
そうよ、完璧よ。プレイヤーであるあんたも完璧ならね。
それはどういう意味か。
どういう意味？私が聞きたいくらいよ。あんたのゲームには遊びが多い。
Oh, it is a game after all.
それは時にベルンカステルを煙に巻くから、あんたなりの策略なんだと私も最初は思ってた。でもなんだか違う気がするの。あんた勝てる試合をもてあそんでるんじゃなくて、勝っても負けてもどうでもいいって思ってるんじゃないの？
バカバカしい。そんなことあるわけもなかろうが。
いいこと？あんたの役目はベルンカステルを屈服させることよ。つまりゲームに永遠に勝者でいること。あなたが絶対の勝者であり続けようとする限り、私は絶対の魔女としてあなたに力を与えるわ。でももしあなたが自らの敗北の可能性を否定しないような戦い方をしているなら、話は変わるわよ。
もちろんこれはゲームである。わらわが勝てばベルンカステル教が負けるように、
I will lose if she
向
wins.
こうが勝てばわらわが負ける日もあるだろう。常に敗北の可能性はあり得る。だからこそわらわは。
だからあんたは使えないのよ。
Yeah, she has the power of miracles.
あんたはゲーム版である必要なんかない。ベルンカステルを永遠にここに閉じ込める鳥かごでさえあればいいの。
Oh, so then Lambda Delta can remain with her for all eternity.
鳥かごの役目は中の小鳥を絶対に逃がさないことよ。たまに抜け出せてしまうような隙間のある鳥かごに何の価値が？
無論ゲームは勝つためのもの。そしてわらわが負けることはありえぬ。ゆえにわらわは勝ち続けようぞ。お望み通り永遠に。
いい返事よ。それでいいわ。策略としての遊びやフェイクは許す。今回有効だったところもあるしね。でもね、もしあなたが勝ち以外を望むような指し手をしたら、その時は素敵な覚悟をなさいよね。
そのようなことはせぬ。スカウト
もともと魔女ですらないあんたが本当はどんなにみすぼらしい存在だったか、いつだって思い出させてあげるんだから。私の期待を裏切ったら、その時は楽しい楽しい罰ゲームが待ってるわよ。100億のかけら世界の中から最も惨めなかけらにあんたを送り込んで封印してあげる。あんたはもともとが惨めだから、惨めなかけらも実に選びがいがあるわ。
Interesting.
愛してるわ、ペルンカステル。ベアトリーチェの鳥かごで好きなだけあがいて、もはや逃れられないことを1000年かけて知りなさい。そしてあなたが屈服したら、私の手のひらでしか泣けないようにたっぷりと仕込んであげるんだから。
Shut up. Oh, close enough. Yeah, so I was expecting a tea party, not whatever that was. Huh. Guess we'll continue on to what would normally be the witch's tea party. But who knows? 12 years later. What? October 4th, 1998. Monotonous electric sound kept on repeating. Ah, after credits, I'm guessing, for the previous episode ever, maybe? The room was coloured with hygienic tones, in other words, an emotionless white. It was a room at a certain university hospital. Neither her doctors nor the person herself had any doubts for this room, which had a price so high that no commoner could afford to spend a single night there, would be the last room she ever saw. Was the person on the bed ever? Even if someone told you that was so, she was unbelievably aged and worn out. A well-built man in a suit waiting in the corner near the door was having a whispered conversation through an intercom with someone outside. He was a guard protecting Ever's person. After telling the person on the other end of the intercom to wait, he approached Ever's bed. Eva had been awake for a short while. However, she stared at a single point in empty space, as though her mind was not in the same place.
エンジェさんが下のロビーに到着しました。お通ししてよろしいですか?
For a long time, Eva didn't answer. However, bit by bit, her eyes began to regain their focus, and she gave a small nod, indicating that she didn't mind if they called Inja, I think I said, is how they pronounced it. It had been Eva who called her. She was right on time. By this point, Eva would refuse anyone who wanted a meeting without an appointment. The room was dark, even though it was still light outside, because the curtains were always closed. There was always one guard waiting in the room, and 3 more waiting in the corridor of the lobby. They were all there to protect Eva's person. Eventually, there was the sound of a knock. Also, there was a message from the intercom that the guest body check had been completed with no problems. The door was unlocked and opened, and a high school-aged girl was standing there. Wait. How? Well, we don't get to see, do we? How many? Was it 8 years later? I don't remember. No, 18 years later, wasn't it? Because roughly, this wasn't the first one set in the 80s, and then this is set in 1998.
会長、エンジェさんがいらっしゃいました。
Eva reacted and turned her face towards the guest. However, instead of reacting to the guard's call, maybe it would be better to say that she reacted to the smell of Angie's makeup. After being shut up in this room for so long, Eva was sensitive to even small changes in smell.
来たわね、エンジ。
Oh, I think that's a new character alert. Yep. Rudolph and Kiria's daughter, Battler's younger half-sister. She didn't get to see Battler often, but they got on extremely well and she greatly respected him. Surprising. Since she was absent due to illness during the family conference, she always survives in solitude. Unfortunately, she has become emotionally disturbed. Always carries a huge amount of cash with her and has the bad habit of throwing it around to make sure she never has to wait. Let's have a look at some of the deaths. Shot and killed by Ushimi. Eva inside mansion, a murder weapon was a sword-off rifle from Kinder's collection. Jessica lost her eyesight. There was only her and Bachelor. Wolves and sheep puzzle. Who else is there? Don't remember seeing even after death keep on protecting the place important to the Lord. Missing. She was indeed joined with Canon of Goldenland. They apologized to each other for their cowardice and told each other their true and honest feelings. They hugged each other until the final moments. Afterwards, she was chewed to bits by demons and went to hell. It's okay. Canon is with her. And yeah, Eva's still alive, so naturally there's nothing changed there. Anything changed on which side? I don't think so. Yeah.
来たわ。呼ばれたから。
On Eva's face, there was no trace of a person warmly welcoming their niece. And on Angel's face, you couldn't see the expression of one pleased to meet with their aunt. Eva waved her arm, which had grown as thin as a withered branch, and motioned for the guard to leave. The guard bowed silently and went out into the hall.
暗い上に空気もひどいわ。カーテンでも開けたら。
そうすると、あんたの依頼した殺し屋が窓越しに撃ってくるって寸法なのかしら。
あんたの暗殺依頼なら、私も受けたいわ。家でのんびり、ほんの一月も過ごしてれば、勝手に任務が終わるもの。
The discussion was quite morbid for an aunt and niece. However, it didn't look like they were joking. At the very least, Eva believed that someone was after her life. All of the Ushiromiya family's massive fortune had come into the possession of Ushiromiya Eva. It was said that this fortune also included the 10 tons of hidden gold that Ushiromiya Kinzo was rumored to have hidden. While this vast wealth lay in Eva's cunning, sly and suspicious hands, no one was able to complain. But it was rumored that as soon as it passed on to Anja, who was no more than a young girl, certain people were plotting to snatch it away. By now, Eva and Anja were Kinzo's only descendants. If Eva died, all the wealth would go to Anja. And if Anja was to be killed as well, then the wealth would go to the family of Anja's mother, Kyrie. In this sense, not only Eva, but Anja as well, were in a position where it wouldn't be odd at all for their life to be targeted by some unknown person. And Eva had hated Anja for a long time. This was because she knew that, after losing her only precious son, George, the inheritor of her own wealth would be none other than the girl who had been absent at that family conference 12 years ago, and who had survived. Eva shunned Anja, disliked her, and even hated her. She isolated Anja in a special school and separated her from the youth and happiness normal people have, trying to keep her as a pet until death. However, Eva had succumbed to an incurable illness, and ironically, her remaining life was estimated to be the same as Kinzo's had been at the family conference 12 years ago. Both Eva and Anja hated each other. Even though they were each other's last blood relatives, they hated each other so much that they hoped the other would die quickly.
それで、わざわざ呼びつけてなんのよ。
私はもう長くないわ。ヤブ医者どもは未だに私が盛られた毒が何かも検出できない。わかってるの？きっと某国の諜報機関で使われてた秘密の暗殺薬なのよ。ああ、私は殺されるのよ。殺されるのよ。よかったわね。もうじき死ぬわよ。そう。
かわいそうな人。
This always happened. They immediately deviated from the main topic, distorting it into a more unsettling discussion. Eva, who was absolutely paranoid, believed that someone was always after her life. And in actual fact, after inheriting the vast wealth of the Ushiromiya family, she had used wild methods just like Kinzo had done in the past, repeatedly making money by any means necessary and creating many enemies along the way. With a massive supply of capital, she had plotted to aggressively buy businesses that were starting to have rapid growth, making them buy it back at a high price under the guise of reconciliation. Ironically, It was the same type of action that her husband's company had been hit with 12 years ago. She had repeated this constantly for 12 years. She had also earned a lot of hatred. If her husband had heard of this from beyond the grave, he might have defended her, saying that the loneliness from losing her family fueled her actions. However, of all the people who knew her now, none would defend her. For some time, Eva eloquently spoke about how her life was being targeted. Interesting thing to speak eloquently of. Listing off names of people who hated her, and sneering at the fact that she still hadn't been killed. Even though Anja heard her own name included in that list, there was no particular change in her expression, and she waited indifferently forever to tire herself out. I'm reminded of one of the Crusader Kings 2, I think. What's it called? Trailers. Because they did a series of the Seven Deadly Sins. One of them had the king had received a list of people plotting against him. He goes, "Wait, even my important minister? Even you?" He says to his Prime Master. "What? No. Just crosses his name out on the list. No. It's like, no, don't do that. It's like, what are you plotting? Oh, it's more of a plotlet, really. It's nothing to concern yourself with."